Who was presented a collab with Usher and he turned it down and he's like, damn, I shouldn't have did that.
You gonna hate me for this one. Oh. Jay-Z, Pharrell, Diddy.
Damn, Usher!
And me was supposed to be a group.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Looking for a super offer on Super Bowl 58? DraftKings Sportsbook have you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Download DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code Shannon. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code Shannon. The crown is yours. Hello, welcome to a very special edition of Club Shay Shay. I'm your host, Shannon Sharpe. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. And for this one, we got a whopper for you. He's an 8-time Grammy Award-winning pop icon, a multi-gold, platinum, and diamond-selling artist. He received the last certified diamond by a black artist. A generation-defining megastar, singer, songwriter, producer, actor, dancer, all-around entertainer, one of the most influential voices and accomplished singers in the world, one of the most successful pop and R&B artists of the 20th century and early 21st century. He's been active in the game for 3 decades, an NBA championship owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. And please, whatever you do, do not leave your girl or your wife around this man. He's an international sex symbol, a successor to Michael Jackson, the king of R&B, Mr. Usher.
Shannon, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Well, let's go ahead. You got your own, you got your Remy,
Hey,
I got my Shay.
Listen, by the way, only in the best, we bring out the best, China. For the you know what I'm saying now, but got it in a Baccarat glass here in Las Vegas, enjoying it, man. I figured I'd come have a drink with you, though.
Boy, I sure appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I didn't even get to say who was sitting down having a drinking conversation, but you see who it is now.
Usher, baby.
Bro, how you doing?
I've been good, bro. We've been out here, man, in Vegas, man, just really enjoying the time, It's been an amazing almost 100 shows.
Right, 100 shows.
And I don't know if there's anybody that's been able to track this fast through 100 shows, But it's been great, man.
The Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Was that always in the back of your mind, or where were you when you got the call that's like, bro, we want you to do the Super Bowl?
Was it always in the back of my, it's in the back of every artist's mind.
Really?
Yeah, of course. I mean, as many times as we've seen performers kind of have an entire career,
right,
a legacy career, to have that moment. I mean, you can win awards, you can travel around the world, have fans everywhere, play arenas, stadiums, you know what I'm saying?
130 million got eyes on.
Yeah, I know. So it's like, it's a lot of pressure, don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But it's a dream, I guess, for everyone, and I'd always wanted to go there. Had the opportunity to go there, with the Black Eyed Peas.
Super Bowl 45.
Yeah. So
you did OMG.
So after being bitten by that moment, I was like, I gotta go back again. I mean, it's a little overdue, but you know what I'm saying, definitely.
But you didn't want to go back. You wanted to go back as a headliner. You wanted to do your own thing. Now, how do you talk what you did? Because remember, you jumped over Will.i.am, you hit the split, and so now people are like, okay, Usher by himself. What's he gonna do to top that?
I don't know if I'm gonna have somebody to jump over. Man, I think that this is a legacy, right? This entire career and everything that you had to say about me, I really do appreciate it.
Did I leave anything out though?
I mean, I became I got a doctorate this year.
Okay.
So
you got a key to the city?
Got a key to the city of Las Vegas. Became a doctor at Berkeley.
Okay.
It really kind of comes down to your 10,000 hours, you know what I'm saying? And if you worked hard, then you should be given that opportunity. Jay-Z, he reached out to me personally.
Right.
So
what was that called? So what was that called? Like, okay, phone rings, you look down, it's Hov, Jay. I mean, you probably got it in your phone, it's Hov or Jay. You pick up the phone, you're like, man, I wonder what he calling me for. Okay, here's the conversation. Now what?
I had an idea that he might be calling. He happened to be coming to town in Atlanta. B was in Atlanta with the tour. Mm-hmm. So every time we're in Atlanta, we play spades.
Okay.
Just so you know, me, him, Juan, and I can pick my partner, you know, and then the last time they kind of gave it to me. So I'm thinking he's getting ready to call me to say, yo, pull up to, you know, the arena or stadium and come get this work. And nah, he was like, nah, I'm not calling about spades. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, so what's up? He was like, it's time. Yeah? I mean, yeah, it is 5 o'clock in the morning. It's time. What you mean it's now? But it was early, you know, and he said, you know, this is the magic moment. This is the Michael moment, actually, how he put it. And, you know, are you ready? I was like, well, you want to do it? I'm like, first of all, I was a bit in denial. So my girl walks in the room and I'm like, she's like, no way. He's like, yes way. So it's like he was in the room with us, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it was an incredible moment, man.
And you know some of the greatest have done. Prince done the halftime. And remember in Miami, he was playing Purple Rain and it starts to rain.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson,
Bruh.
Beyonce.
Hold on,
so
bro. Everybody realized that God was a Prince fan. That man was playing and it started raining purple.
It started raining for real.
What?
So how long is it going to take you? Because we're probably about 3.5, 4 months away.
Yeah.
How long is it going to take you to put a set together? Because it's not like your residency here, and we will get into that a little later. You probably got 15, 20 minutes to put something together that will leave the people, that the people will remember for the rest of their lives.
Well, exactly that, right? For your entire life. I guess for the entire time that you've been building, that's how long it took.
Wow.
To prepare for that moment. It didn't just start these, you know, few months that I have that lead up to it. It started, you know, 30 years ago, man, when I decided that this is what I wanted to do and, you know, had the support of my mama and a host of a lot of people, man. I mean, this journey is not just mine to celebrate. It's everybody that has something to do with it. From the beginning in Chattanooga, Tennessee, making my way to Atlanta, signing with a record company at 14 years old, then having this incredible journey, finding music, finding producers, finding sources of inspiration, you know, and then moving on to other areas, you know, finding artists and working and collaborating with other people. So I celebrate all of that leading up to that moment. So if anything, if you want to take note, the preparation starts today. If you're working on it right now, then hopefully you'll get there someday. But man, don't take those, you know, those 10,000 hours lightly, man. We live in a time where, you know, you can have success overnight. I mean, you know, we have social interaction that gives us access to everything. But, you know, that work that you have to put in order to, you know, own that moment and deserve that moment can't be taken lightly.
Any early Super Bowl predictions?
Probably too early for me, man. I don't know, bro. I come here to ask you. To be honest, I'm like, yo, what you think? You know? But somebody said something about Miami. Somebody said something, you know, about Kansas City.
49ers.
Somebody said something about 49ers. Yeah.
Are you a Cowboy fan?
I mean, you know, I was born in Dallas, Texas, and have always been, you know, a fan, you know, of the Cowboys throughout the years, you know. So, you know, who knows? It could be a good year. They seem to be getting it together, you know.
The new album, Coming Home, going to release on the same day as the Super Bowl. That's not an accident, is it?
No. That was strategic. You know, part of it is, you know, paying tribute to the past. You know, being present here in Las Vegas, what a surprise, right, to have an incredible residency run here. 100 shows I will have played by the end of November. Mm-hmm. And then to have the treat of being able to play the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. You know, so, yeah, man, it's like, you know, here you have this grand opportunity that is almost like a crescendo of what started off really in a pandemic.
Right.
People don't really know that part, right? When I came to Las Vegas, it was quiet. Nobody was here, nothing was happening. People thought I was crazy for putting tickets on sales. But to be honest, it was belief that we would get back to the norm, you know what I'm saying? And a time when the world just felt like upside down, like what is normal anymore? We ain't been outside or been into a concert hall or celebrated with each other in a year, you know what I'm saying? And here you have this grand opportunity to start this journey that now leads up to the Super Bowl for me.
So that moment was also for you because you wanted to get outside also. You wanted to see people because you were shut in. They was like, oh man, I get a chance to see Usher. But you like, Usher get a chance to see y'all.
Yeah, man. The first thing that we did a show in Los Angeles for iHeartRadio, which was like the actual first time I'd sang and also to been in the room, or anybody had been in the room in LA. So that was the first thing. And then to come to Las Vegas and then launch my residency successfully, as I said, the time that we spent here and now, to be able to come here and celebrate, man, this incredible moment.
This is your 9th solo album.
Yeah.
This is your first in 8 years. What can we expect?
Well, first, after the Super Bowl, as you said, the album comes out. Coming Home, we've released one record so far, Good Good, featuring Summer Walker and also 221 Savage. #1 record there, so really happy about that. Radio has played a major part in that. Social interactions, a ton of other things, but I really feel like I put a lot of heart and time into making certain that this was curated right, something that felt like, this next chapter of my life, as I talk to you about the past, the present, happening here in Las Vegas, the future. And once we get there in February, is the next frontier, is that next chapter of my life and my legacy. This, by the way, marks the first album that I put out as an independent artist. Very important part, right? Because what you should know is that, legacy obviously is a part of what, gave me the hit records to be able to have a foundation to stand on. But at that juncture in my life, I didn't just rely on that. I decided to move away and also to be independent. Mega, myself, Larry Jackson, L.A. Reid, and I came together and formed Gamma. And Mega is the support of it. Since then, it's just been a labor of being reminded of why we did it. I can go back to my 13-year-old days and remember the beginning between me and LA. Now, at 45 years old, and him having a world of it experience, just one of the greatest executives of our time, Black executives of our time, breaking so many artists in so many different genres. Now we get to bring all that equity together and do something that is all about passion.
He's one of the greatest record executives, regardless of color.
That's right.
You look at all the acts that he's discovered and put on. He's been unbelievable.
Yeah.
This residency, and you spoke about it a little earlier. Was that something that, had the pandemic not happened, would be a residency with Usher? Would that have happened?
It was gonna happen.
It was about.
Yeah, it was gonna happen. We had plans for it to happen.
Okay.
And right as we were in the process of launching, I think I was in France at the time, and it was just this crazy outbreak. Came back to America, and then before you know it, we were quarantined. And I'd been working on music, so I've been kind of ramping up to something, whether it was new music, a new tour, and we all felt like Las Vegas would be an incredible reintroduction of new music, also to celebrating legacy, but it turned into something far, far more than that, man,
Right. We're here at the Nomad, Las Vegas, right down the hallway from where you're performing your residency tonight at the Dolby Live Park MGM. My daughter, whose flight was delayed, wanted to be here, but I'm bringing her tonight for her birthday. So when you caught a lot of flack, the women come and you
come with your daddy or come with your sugar daddy.
No.
With your husband.
This is my actual daughter. I'm very protective about this one now. So I ain't got my 2 girls, and I'm very protective of us. So don't be messing around. So the criticism. I mean, you just having a good time. You say you got your things on. I mean, are you surprised that you've gotten the criticism and the blowback that you've received?
I don't know, man. I just know that this juncture of my life is just about having fun.
You don't even care.
No, it's not that I don't care. It's that I want you to know that I'm having fun. And that is a part of me having fun, being out in the audience amongst the fans and also to the people and feeling that energy. I don't remember the last time that I've been to a show like that. I know that we all feel good when we go to Frankie Beverly and we all dress in our white. We go out there and we enjoy each other in the aisles and have a great time.
Right.
But when an artist comes out and just is amongst the people, this arena gave me an opportunity to be able to be closer to my fans because I hadn't put out an album in almost 6 years, right? So now being able to reconnect in that way, obviously it spun into something that gave me a new title.
Yeah.
I think Charlemagne the God named me like the domestic terrorist. I'm like, bruh, this is actually a Usher show, right?
Well, you said you can feel the energy. You can't feel the energy from them husbands and them boyfriend giving you the evil eye?
Well,
like, you need to back up.
Nah, they actually cool. The guys that are there, you know what I'm saying? The girls, they get a little rowdy. I'm just saying, but you know, it's don't leave your girl around me. I said, come with your girl. You know what I'm saying? Come with your daughter. You know what I'm saying? Bring your wife. But yo, by the way, again, it's all in good fun,
right?
Man. And the whole purpose and point is to bring that energy to Las Vegas. When I look out and I see my people, I see us doing something that I don't feel like it's been done here.
Right.
Like, the Black Dollar is strong in Vegas,
sure.
man, more than it's ever been. And the cast and the crew and the feeling of what this has built has been a celebration. So, you know, I don't know if I was able to even look at it as a negative. And then anything that has happened in terms of the girls who came up there, rather it was Taraji P. Henson or, you know what I'm saying, Kiki, you know, Palmer.
You know that woman had just had a baby and she was...
I mean, she wanted to get out and have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Should you not feel like you know what I mean? Like you should get out with your girls and enjoy yourself? You should, right?
Yes.
And there you have me to assist your usher.
Oh, you ushering them into a good time. You taking that lift, I mean, you going too far with this. You know, the ushers help you to the chair or find a seat.
I'm ushering you to a good time, baby. You know what I'm saying? Come have a good time with me. No, but
working out.
Yeah, man.
I talked to Steve Stout yesterday, and he said that when you getting ready for a show, that you would train chasing the U-Haul and they're playing Confessions because you are an entertainer. You're not just sitting on a stool singing. You're moving and you're every word and you're dancing, you're doing all these dance moves.
Yeah.
Bro, how are you able to do this night in and night out? And you still got them 20-year-old knees.
Yeah, I know, man. It's like the conditioning is no different than, you know, football. You know what I mean? You got to really have you got to have a core. And you got to make certain that you can sing and dance. So part of my moving and singing and running and doing some of these things that are probably not a part of the, you know, the build of artists, you know, that type of artist development is something that I learned. I learned it from a guy by the name of A.J. Alexander, the guy who actually discovered me, who was Bobby Brown's bodyguard, right? So as a kid, he had his kids in Atlanta, and this was our training. Like, it was like boot camp. Singing wasn't just like, oh, we gonna get out here and just jam and sing to girls. No, you gotta like, he was like putting us through straight boot camp.
So you had to learn to sing while you're tired because you're running and, like you said, it's boot camp. But
I just think that generation of entertainment, it was different. You know what I'm saying? And I had been in a group before, and we as a group, you know, we worked in the same way. You know what I'm saying? We played basketball. You know what I'm saying? And we got our wind up. Or when we were working, we would sing and dance and move around. He would have us running and singing, all of that kind of stuff. That wasn't uncommon. That's not an uncommon thing if you consider yourself an artist. That is part of artist development. And if you want to be able to get out there, sing, dance, not miss a beat, be on key, that's the type of work that you got to do.
You mentioned you were born in Chattanooga. You moved to Atlanta at a very, very young age. And you said your mom, I read where you said your mom like kind of quit what she was doing to devote all of her attention to you. And you said your mom was like kind of hard on you and making sure that's what you wanted. Where does your stance? Because we see Richard, Venus and Serena. Richard Williams was very hard on them. We see Tiger's story. His dad was hard on him. And then I see Dwight Howard trying to push his son, and he gets blowback. So where is Usher? If your kids, how are you going to be with your son? You say you got a son that's playing basketball now. How is Usher, the parent, given where he came from, knowing what he knows, how's he going to be?
Man, I deal with the same, you know, issues that any parent deals with. Kids who are influenced by, you know, the things that they see, the things that they get into. But the one thing that I do is care for my kids, right? I view disciplinary, you know, kind of measures as something that is preparing your kids, especially black kids, for, you know, the reality of the world that they're living in. You know, I hold you to a higher standard. You know, I personally hold you to a higher standard because I know what work it takes to be great. And for parents who do that, You know, look at the evidence. Look at the incredible, you know, artists, the incredible athletes that were created in that moment. This generation may not necessarily have the same respect, but God bless the coaches that we have. God bless the mentors and stuff that we have that motivate our kids, because it almost puts this pressure on parents to not be parents. Right. Nah, it's a hard dynamic, especially if you come from an industry where you know what it takes to not naturally kick into that mode and say, yo, if you want to do something, you want to play basketball, you got to run at a certain rate. I'm going to push you. If you really want to do this, you got to show me. You're going to show up on time. You ain't on time, give me push-ups right now. What? Yeah, give me push-ups, run these laps, run these suicides right now. You serious, Dad? Yeah, for real, and I'm not playing. And if I catch you, if I get there before you do, you're going to give me 100 extra push-ups. Wow. You know what I'm saying? That's just the nature of the, you know, of the animal that is inside of who we are as I don't know, man, as entertainers, as athletes, you know. So I don't look at any of that kind of disciplinary kind of measure as a bad. I do think it's equally important to talk to your kids. Okay. If you're gonna push them that way, then you gotta love on them just as much.
You gotta explain to them why you pushing.
There you go. That's right. They gotta know that, yo, my dad's gonna push me to be great. My dad's gonna talk to me as well and help me understand why he's pushing me the way that he is.
But how is that? Because you have to understand, you're in a totally different situation than what they are. Your mom didn't have it like your kid's dad has it.
Right.
So they're looking because you like, man, I gotta get my mom out of this situation. I want to have, well, your kids come home, they got a 6-car garage, they got 25,000 square feet, they got nanny, they got maid, they got chef, they got all of that.
Yeah. that is a harsh reality, which is more the reason why you got to be harder on them. But mindful that their normal is different than our normal.
Right.
And the access that they have is greater and grander, and the expectation is actually higher. That's the one thing that I have empathy for my children, especially the ones, you know, that, yeah, I named my son Usher. So every time he's out, obviously there's that pressure. You know, I've even battled at times, you know, my kids, sometimes they don't want me to come. They don't want me to be at the, you know, that basketball game or their recital, or they want me to be very, very low key because they don't want that energy. They don't want, oh, Dad walked in the room and took, you know.
All their focus off of me.
Yeah, and it's hard because I try my hardest to have that empathy, but I want to be there, you know what I'm saying? Countless times being able to just sit at the back of the room quiet, you know what I'm saying, is keep myself as small as possible and be as quiet as I possibly can.
You want to be a parent.
Yeah, man, yeah. But it is, you're right, like that access and that reality that they're looking at, it gives them some expectation. And unfortunately, I can't take it back, you know what I'm saying? Like I walked so that we could ride, you know what I'm saying? And now that you're riding, you know, I want you to understand the importance of walking.
Right. Did you always, at the age of 10, 11, and 12, you were on Star Search, did you always know you wanted to be this?
Well, which part of this do you mean, right? Because
this, the guy that's sitting across from me, that's internationally known, that goes and sells out every concert, the guy that's almost at 100 shows at a residency, the guy that's doing the halftime show, one of the king of R&B. This.
Thank you very much. But let me give you a little clarity, right?
Okay.
No, I don't know if I was prepared for any of it, but I know that I was dedicated enough to stick to it until something happened. And then something that I didn't expect happened, to become a businessman, to then understand entrepreneurship, to understand philanthropy, to understand empathy, to begin to understand the other side of it. I wasn't prepared for that. I knew that if I set my mind to anything, the affirmation of me once saying it and actually making it happen, willing it to happen, was something that I was committed to. As a kid, I walked around and my mother used to tell me all the time, you need to stop telling people that you're gonna be a big artist. I'm like, why? That's what I believe. This is what I think about myself. If I don't believe it, nobody else would. Right. But you don't have to say it. It ain't happened yet. I'm like, but I want it to. So let me just
keep manifesting it.
I must keep saying it until it actually, becomes the reality. And I'm gonna not only just say it and expect somebody to give it to me. I'm gonna take the long way around. I wanna work for it. I wanna be able to say I earned it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I remember the first time that I saw you, and I didn't quite know who you were. I saw you in Nike Town in Phipps Plaza.
Man.
I used to see you in Gucci all the time, and you always sing. I was like, man, why this dude singing? I mean, like, he's like, and you were just singing and singing and singing. And I was talking to my sister, I said, man, I saw this, I mean, you couldn't have been no more than like 16 or 17 tops. Yeah. I said, I saw this kid in Nike Town, and he was singing. I think he might be something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I was auditioning or what, you know what I'm saying? But I was preparing for my moment, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the plight, you know what I'm saying? To anything that you want to be great at, you have to make it a process. Like it's a part of your every thought. Like if you want to play basketball, you always bounce on the ball. If you want to play football, you always readjusting, you always managing, you always ready and alert. You know, if you want to play sports, it's like you have to stay activated and stay active. As an artist, it's the same. And, you know, I'm also too haunted by the idea that I had this talent. So it's naturally just coming out. It's like, you can't help but just be who you are. You know?
You had this talent. Obviously, in high school, normally when you have a talent, everybody's not as talented as everyone else. So were there hating going on with you in high school? Did people hate that you were so gifted? Because you're in a talent show, you winning. You know that. You're not losing a talent show.
No.
So they're like, okay, you won the last 5 talent shows. You're not entering this one.
No, but that's what makes you great, right? The fact that you know that there's opposition. You know, if you're playing on a football team, right? You're gonna go out there, you see that you go up against some dogs, you know what I'm saying? You gotta go out there with a different attitude. You gotta like believe it. You gotta like be it. You know, and by the way, I had a hard trip, bro. My name was Usher. Like,
yeah.
Like I don't have like Marcus or Derek or like Eddie or something like that. Like I was already like an outlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute, you walking around with this name and they weren't nice to me. You know what I'm saying? Usher. What's up, Usher? You want an Usher board? You know what I'm saying? A Hershey bar. I was like, man, come on, man. All right, that's cool.
So what was dating like for Usher in high school?
Dating? It was a bit difficult, you know what I'm saying? Because I just
can sing, you can swoon them.
Yeah, I know, but you know, I was just trying my hardest to stay focused on my actual goal, and I don't know, man. I was just trying to figure out how to get to the real goal. You know, to have a girlfriend, that was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would definitely impress the girls and
see, I knew I would go get it out you. I knew I'd get it out you.
Of course, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I just, you know, it wasn't about that, man. I was focused, bro. I was like, I need to stay focused. And I have a goal, you know what I'm saying? When I figured out, oh, this is really what I want to do, I think I was willing to make the sacrifices that were needed. And while I wanted to enjoy, you know, having relationships, it was like, if I find a girl that I think is really cool and I can learn something from her, she can learn something from me, then we can help each other. But for the most part, we can help each other out.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I don't think there was a phase where I was girl crazy, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I was trying to figure out how to get as many numbers as I possibly could because I wanted to be a player, you know what I'm saying, from the Himalayas, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I wasn't really focused on you know, that too much.
How did you deal with your voice at 10 is not the same as the voice at 14, and the voice at 14 is not the same as the voice your mature voice is going to be. So how did you handle the voice change going through puberty?
It's crazy. You know, I just had to figure out how to focus on something else until it changed back and just keep working. I changed my eating habits, you know what I'm saying? In addition to losing my voice, I had pizza face, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about, teenagers?
Yeah.
You go through a phase where it's just like Nestle Crunch, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I gotta figure this out, you know? But I didn't let any of that deter me from like, I still gotta stay focused on what I wanna do. I lost my voice completely. It was hard. Because I didn't lose my voice and didn't have anything, right? I lost my voice and I actually had a record that was on the radio. I had a record that I put out, Just Call Me a Mac, and I couldn't sing it. Here I am at, you know, I think it was Jack the Rapper in Atlanta, Can I Be Down? I can't remember which, it was one of those two. And I sang my song and I got through it. That was the first and the last time that I actually sang. And I impressed an audience of people, some of whom still come up to this day and like, yo, I remember you in this yellow something. You was like a little kid, man, and you really just had this real big energy. And then after that, I lost it. And trying my hardest to not lose my mind in that and become like depressed, like fall into a deep depression. It took a great deal of support. It took my mama, it took my grandmother, it took my nanny, it took my family members to, just continue to encourage me. And I managed to make it through it. The people who managed to stick around, the people that I was working with at the time, a lady by the name of Shirley Riley, an amazing coach as well. But working with Kawan Prayatha, who was the person who I worked with at the time, Shanti Das, these people who, were kind of appointed for me to work with, they didn't give up on me. They continued to see something bright in me. L.A. Reid, they continued to invest in me, working with, vocal coaches and continued to help me find my way. Sent me to New York City to work with Puffy. It was just like, okay, we're not giving up. We still believe in it.
How difficult is it as a child to find topics to sing about? Because you're like 13, 14, you can't be singing about this mature stuff, and you're not a gangster rapper. You ain't shooting up the club and talking about this bee and this garden tool and all that. So was it difficult?
This garden tool.
Was it difficult for you to find material? Come on. Was it difficult for you to find material to sing about?
Yeah, it was like pips and garden tools. Man, I didn't have to worry about that as much. I think they spent time with me. It was funny. Eddie Bishop and Tim Thomas, the first two producers that I worked with, we just posted something, and I look back and it's like, man, I just, so great that you, on the road to riches, you stop and take pictures, because it actually just takes you back to that moment. I almost forgot about, just the hope in my eyes and the fact that I was just a little kid.
Right.
But here they are trying to make songs for me about being a Mac. I don't even know what a Mac is, you know what I'm saying?
A Big Mac.
Mac truck, a Big Mac? Like, nah, but, I think I left it to them to help me figure out how to talk. Because I could have easily, became, one of the sensations that would have been locked into being a kid only, had made kid music specifically for kids.
Right.
But I think that they were trying to make music that adults would listen to as well. That was a real smart thing for them to do. And really, it was great to think ahead, because it made it easier for me to transition. When I worked with, Organized Noise, when I worked with Puff, when I worked with, those guys, they were trying to tell the coolest young guy's story. The guy who, was kind of having emotions, but still trying to be a young fly player. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got a little movement here. You know what I'm saying? I talk to women a certain way. They were giving me like, yo, you got to talk to a girl like this. You know what I mean? And, when we do intros, like, yo, you talk over R&B records. Just how you got to talk to them, bro. But, great that I was able to have more mature conversation, because I didn't get caught in the kid thing. I wasn't like a kid teen type sensation.
Right.
I was out there trying to figure out how to take my shirt off and show my tic tac, you know what I'm saying?
You mentioned L.A. Reid sent you to New York, and you live with P. Diddy. They call it Flavor Camp.
Flavor Camp, yeah.
So what was that experience like, and how did that help Usher's career?
I don't think I would be the artist that I am today without the experiences that I had in New York City. One, just being in a new place where I would have to adjust, right? I didn't have the comfort of home. I'm in New York City, and they was, done and sunning me to death, bro. And I was like, shout it, I don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm saying? We finna go over here, you know what I'm saying? And they was like laughing at me because I was Southern, and they were like New York, but they was like took me and they took me under their wing, you know what I'm saying? And looked at me like the little bruh.
Right.
I think back to, the earlier times of being there when Bad Boy was formed. I learned something about business. I learned something about artist development in a different way. I learned something about culture. So having the ability to be around all these different cultures of people, it just helped me understand the world that I lived in. I wasn't isolated and felt like I needed to be protected. I wasn't. I was like, yo, we're gonna show you the real ropes. We show you what the world really looks like. and give you a front seat. I'm looking at Biggie, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking at Craig Mack, I'm looking at Onyx. We running in the streets. We like literally out here seeing how we in barbershop, they shooting dice, you know what I'm saying? You know, bet I don't, 4-4 out, 4, you know what I'm saying? 4-5, you know, I'm like, yo, what is this? You know what I'm saying? But so great to have had those experiences because one, I didn't have a big brother and my dad wasn't there in my life as a kid. So all these experiences just readied me for life. So greater than just being an artist, that man helped me understand life. He helped me understand what it was to be an artist. He helped me understand what it was to be passionate about something. He helped me understand culture. He helped me understand business on a different level because I'm seeing him go from his independence to then becoming Puff Daddy. You know what I'm saying? And I got a front row seat looking at that. Thank God that I had that experience, you know what I'm saying?
And then
And by the way, at New York's hottest moment, you know what I'm saying? This is Terror Squad and Fat Joe. I'm like, how do I know all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Like I can remember being on stage, I can't curse on this, but I was like, one of the craziest experiences ever. I happened to be on stage performing with Biggie, and this is back when he had a song called Party and Bull Dung. Cow dong. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, this is crazy. But I was able to take all of that and then begin to understand, oh, okay, I get it. I see where the world is, but now I want to do this my way. Yeah.
Atlanta, Jermaine Dupri, you link up with JD, and what makes JD so good at his job?
You know, creative. He's extremely creative. And he's mindful of the artist that he's working with. He spends the time that is necessary to understand how to tell the artist story. He spends the time making certain that he understands the cadence as he writes. He's one of the world's greatest writers. I mean, you don't get no better, bruh. Like somebody who has like multiple skills as a writer, as an artist, as a creative, whether it's fashion, whether it's lifestyle, cool, incredibly emotional when it comes to knowing how to pin it, because he listens to every word. He manages to get out of the way too. That's another thing. It's about him because it's about his interpretation. And the interpreter always wins, but his ability to not make it about just him. He makes it about his artist. He's able to then say, all right, I'm gonna breathe life into this artist who's trying to find their way. Now, what you do with it, whether you dance or you rap or you go into movies or you do other things, that's how you keep going. But he really does understand the art of artistry, the art of being able to see the greatest things and pull the best things out.
Confessions.
Yeah.
Everybody thought Confessions was about you. Like you was just confession. You went to a confessional, but it was about him.
Well, no.
It was about you?
No, it was a collect. By the way, we made an album and we as men sat around like this. We were having real conversations, real talk, as a matter of fact. Mark Pitts, you know, myself, JD. There's a couple of cats in the room that was going through this situation. I ain't trying to put nobody on blast, but I'm just saying we all were having a conversation about this thing that was happening. And it ain't the first time that it happened. But here's an opportunity for me to be able to tell that story in a way where everybody could relate to it. It wasn't just me. I'm at JD. It was everybody.
It was everybody at that table was going through something.
Yo, by the way, I tell you no lies. Everybody was going through some portion of what we were talking about in that studio.
Is Confessions the album that Usher's a bona fide superstar? He's here to stay. He ain't no flash in the pan. He's not here today, gone tomorrow. Usher Raymond is here, and you will forever remember this man's name.
You gotta tell me, bro.
Yeah, this.
You think so?
I think that's your greatest.
That's the greatest?
Yeah.
Body of work, 8701.
Oh no, okay. You see,
Okay.
when you put it like that, 8701.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's great that I could even have
If you could sing one album, if you only had to sing one album, and you couldn't sing, you got a lot of them, but you got to sing one for the next year and only one. What you rocking with?
Man, that's a hard one, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Confessions. Because I'm right. It's well-rounded, but I mean, just saying this, Like between those two albums, I think that it would definitely have to be based off of success. Mm-hmm. It would have to be Confessions, yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, I mean, Diamond, Crazy, Sexy, Cool, Whitney Houston, Thriller. Bro, you get the Diamond, ain't a whole lot of diamonds out there.
There has been no other Diamond since in this genre.
That make you feel good, doesn't it?
It's a good thing to have, you know what I'm saying? But also too, it's a bit of a thing, right? Because you're then aiming at that. And I never wanted to get caught up in what I've done in the past so much that I can't focus on where I am. Because the success has changed, right? If we, could count success by how many albums you actually sold,
right.
They don't sell albums in that way as a physical copy where we get on a line, we stand outside of Tower Records, you did it, right? I did it too, you know what I'm saying? And we got that album. We weren't like quick ordering that joint or either just clicking at a button and it's just there. So yeah, it's like the measure of success has to change in life. And by the way, this is important because if you don't do that, you manage to get caught in your mind and the psychological damage that could happen if you don't reach the same goal makes you feel as though you're not a success. That's not true. There's just always a different shift. Yo, I remember when, Vince Carter was jumping out the gym, bro. Right. He shifted his whole game and 3 crazy. Still can jump if he wanted to, but them ankles, they ain't gonna. That's what I'm saying. Right. So it's about, those are the people that I look up to, bro.
You said something very interesting. Yeah. Because I've heard people say this about Michael, is that he kept trying to replicate the success that he had with Thriller. And Dirty Diana was a great album. It sold 8 million copies and subsequent albums that came out after that. But it wasn't Thriller. And it drove him to a point that if it didn't do 30 million, 40 million, 60 million copies, he didn't feel like it was successful. You said, I got in my mind early on that if I don't do the physical number that Confessions did, I'm okay with that. How are you able to do that, Usher? Because we're measured by our success. Because people judge you by what you did as a younger you. Yeah. They don't compare you to anybody else that's in your genre currently. They compare you to a younger you.
Well, they shouldn't. What?
Come on with it, Usher. Come on with it. See, I knew I get it out of y'all. See what he said. Y'all better leave that man alone. Y'all keep on talking about y'all the king of this and king of that. No. I'm sitting with the king right here.
I'll just tell you 2 things on King Talk, right?
Okay.
But the Confessions, right? Again, if you are living by the applause, you will die by the boos. T.I. told me that. Yeah. And it's spot on. It is. If you live for the applause, you're gonna die by the boos. You gotta do what you gotta do. And you gotta make your offering as clear as it could potentially be, because it's gonna serve at least one person. Because that's why we really do it, right? We do it because we wanna offer something that's gonna be the right dialogue or the right help or the right moment or a right service to whatever needed to happen in that moment, the celebration, the love making, the baby making, the ability to be emotional and finally be able to say what you really mean to this person. Be true to that. Right. If you start to chase the success in that same way, it could drive you crazy.
Right.
The only way that I was able to do that is to focus on other things, to focus on building longitude, latitude, right? I got to build more space. Let's take this thing that I got, my perspective, and I want to introduce some other artists. I want to try and let me go fail at some other things and get great at that, right? Because you peak in some ways, and then you figure out something else to work on. And then you peak at that, and you figure out something else, you peak at that.
But how are you able to have such success and willing to go try something that you might fail at? I mean, once you become successful, you're like, I kind of like this. I ain't really trying to fail, so I kind of want to stay. I'm going to come and stay where I'm at. But you're willing to go outside and like, okay, let me try to be a producer. Let me try to discover talent.
Yeah. Well, I mean, part of it also, too, honestly, became a bit of a reckless thing for me because I think some of the actions that I had taken, some of the decisions that I had made began to sabotage me. And it may have been personal sabotage because I just wanted some idea of normalcy. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be able to get back to normal. I wanted to be able to have like a little bit. I didn't look at it the same way, like, yo, I gotta go Like we're now, you know, we're getting ready to take off. Now I want to go to the moon. Get to the moon. I want to go to the sun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, I think that in some way I started to figure like I need to move things around and maybe move things. And some steps didn't help me. Some things that I did were not right. Some decisions I made, you know, hey, but I live with them all too, by the way. And I'm okay with that. That's the only way that I was able to get through it. I actually enjoy being in a position where I'm a bit of an underdog and I got to fight my way back up to the top. I love for you to say, oh, it's over. I love for you to say, oh, nah, he ain't gonna do it again. Oh, no, it can't happen. No, that right there is motivation, because that means I got someplace to go. I got some place to grow.
I mean, you were the first artist in the 2010s to collect 3 #1 singles in 3 consecutive decades. The 90s, Nice and Slow, You Make Me Wanna.
Yep.
You Make Me Wanna, Lead a Wanna. My Way. And then 2000, You Remind Me. You Got It Bad. You Don't Have to Call Me. Yeah, Burn, Confessions Part 2. And then 2010, OMG, There Goes My Baby, Climax.
Hits.
I mean.
We got hits.
Yes!
Got some hits, bruh.
I mean, you were landing more punches than Mayweather.
Yeah.
When will you go back and sit back? I mean, or do you take the time like?
This is it. That's what's happening right now. I'm actually sitting back and enjoying all of the labor of that. That's the moment I'm in right now. I'm in that moment of really enjoying the hard work. Now I don't get a lot of sleep, but I think that that's just the reality of who I am as a person, because I love to work and I love to create. But I'm enjoying it finally. I'm able to, you know, because I've always been of service to people. Rather, I'm offering something.
Right.
And whether they like it or not is really up to them, not up to me.
Right.
But I like that. That actually makes me feel good. But now I get a chance to actually enjoy what I am creating, enjoy what I have created.
What's your favorite decade? I mean, 90s, 2000s,
I think somewhere in the 70s, like being motivated by that and then bringing that forward.
Right.
Because so many incredible artists were born in that time or created in that moment. Living in the 90s, I say it was a grand moment for all of us because it was a mixture between R&B and hip hop and in a way that felt, you know, it felt sensational. By the way, even in the South, because the South, it didn't have as much of a definition, but through the 90s and then on to the 2000s, you then began to understand, you know, Organized Noise, Jermaine Dupri, Little John, incredible producers out of the South, you know, began to really, really have a moment. But I really do think that it's something in the 70s, bro. Like the artists that came out of the 70s were incredible.
If you could have, I'm gonna give you 3. If you could perform with 3, collab with 3 artists from the 70s, who would it be?
If I could collab with them in the 70s?
In the 70s.
Oh, it would have been Quincy Jones.
Okay.
You know, it would have been out of Philly. Gamble and Huff. Let me see. Who else? 70s. I think I said the 2. That actually is so strong.
I thought you was talking about artists that you would have liked to perform with.
Oh, perform with?
Yes, an artist you want to collab with.
Oh, artist to collab with? Man, it would have been great to do something with, like, Diana Ross. Would have been great to do something with, you know, Donny Hathaway. Would have been great to do something with Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Give me a Mount Rushmore of R&B singers. Mount Rushmore. You only get 4, Usher. So, I mean, I've had people on here, they try to get 5. Stevie Wonder.
Let me see. Donny Hathaway, Whitney Houston. Ooh. I said Stevie Wonder, right?
You said Stevie
Okay,
first.
I put him on twice.
Okay.
Michael Jackson, Marvin Gaye.
Didn't I just tell you had 4?
I'm sorry. Okay, so I can't take Michael out for Marvin? Oh, come on now.
You look at Michael as R&B?
Do I? You don't?
I mean, I thought he was the king of pop.
But man, he created a format that, like, man, R&B was like, I mean, you know, here's an interesting thing, right? Kings, right?
Yes.
I think all of those guys are kings.
Right.
I think that we get so caught up on being the number one king person, right?
Yeah.
To have that title to be the king.
Because normally you only got one king. You got a king and a queen. You got a lot of princes. You can be a lot of princes, but you can only have one king, Usher.
You can only have one king, one queen, but you can only have one Usher, baby. And Usher, you know what I'm saying? He get the ceremony right. He come out white glove service, baby. You know what I'm saying? We gonna deliver. Nah, hold on. But greater than being a king or either saying I want to have that one spot, what I see is needed is a kingdom.
Okay.
Right? So when I look at all of the genres of music, I see EDM and I look at festivals and I look at the lifestyle, the equipment. I look at, you know what I'm saying, country music. I think boots. I think cowboys. You know what I'm saying? I think chaps. I think cowboy hats and rodeos and all kind of stuff like that. I think pickups. You know what I'm saying? There's a culture there, right? There's a kingdom to this idea. There's a monetization of that thing. R&B or either the genre that I came from, I don't think it possesses the same weight in terms of the other ancillary businesses that are there. And that's what I'm focused on. We gonna be all kings, matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? There's tons of people who put in the work. I ain't the only person that's been put in them 1,000 hours. And I don't know or profess to be the only king. Am I the king of what I feel? Yeah, I am. Every day I wake up feeling like a king. You know what I'm saying? And I work hard to be that king, but I want a kingdom. I want us to be able to have the same potency in hip hop, right? When I think of hip hop, I think of what you're drinking. I think about the glasses you're wearing. I think about the shoes you got on. I think about, the records. I think about that culture. I think about the clothes you're wearing, right? I want the same thing. I want that kingdom for R&B in that same way.
Who was presented a collab with Usher and he turned it down and he's like, damn, I shouldn't have did that.
Collaboration?
Yeah. Is there a collab that someone asked you to be a part of and you didn't, and when it came out, you're like, damn.
Yeah. You gonna hate me for this one. Oh. Jay-Z, Pharrell, Diddy.
Damn, Usher!
And me was supposed to be a group. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, you gonna hate me for that, I know. Yeah.
Why did you say no?
I didn't say no.
You didn't say yeah?
I didn't say yeah.
You said yeah on the record, but you didn't say yeah to that.
That's the one. I think that we just got caught up. I think we all got caught up in a moment. We was talking about it and having secret meetings about it. We were talking about music and how we gonna flip it and the business of it. And somehow, man, we just got distracted, you know what I'm saying? And it never happened, you know? That's the one that I actually wish would have happened.
Right.
Is there a movie or something that I was supposed to be a part of?
Yes.
A collaboration? Yeah, David Geffen reached out to me to be in Dreamgirls. And yeah, man, it just didn't happen. And I think everybody hit me about this joint too. I had Eddie Murphy hit me, man, Brandy hit me.
There's always a reason. You don't get in your car and just sit there. You go to the grocery store.
There you go, bro.
Or you drive to a concert.
I know.
You turned that down?
Yeah, I didn't do it.
Shanta, did you know about this?
I didn't know about this one.
Yeah. Drink to that.
I read that you were Beyonce's nanny. Were you Beyonce's nanny?
First of all, how can I be a nanny? I'll be a manny.
But you know what I mean.
No, I wouldn't Beyonce's nanny. Daryl Simmons, he had a group by the name of the Dolls.
Okay.
And they came to Atlanta for the first time. This is before Destiny's Child became Destiny's Child. And I think I looked over them while they was doing something in the house. I had to watch them because I was like the authority, because I guess I was the teenager at the time. But no, I wasn't a nanny, you know what I'm saying? No.
But you were just overseeing them, like making sure they ain't breaking nothing.
Making certain that they didn't get in no trouble in the house at the time. Yeah.
Did you know that little girl was going to grow up to be that big international superstar? Can you look at, because you did discover Justin Bieber, so you did see something. So clearly you got an eye for talent.
Yeah, well, not just by myself. There was a host of people. You know, they say success has 1,000,000 fathers, and an orphan, you got it. So I think when I saw them, I knew there was something very special about all of them, because as Destiny's Child, they all thrive. Even still to this day, when you see them and you see them together, they all thrive. They all are an incredible unit. Mm-hmm. Beyonce had a talent and also a brilliance and a brightness that was much different. And it was actually Frank Gatson who helped me see it. He worked with me at the time. He was my choreographer, and then he started working with them.
Okay.
And he'd always told me, man, like, she's really special. You need to keep your eye on her. I was like, man, she is really special. And really great for my sister, man, to see that she's done so amazing and continue to thrive and just get bigger and better. And just, you know, I mean, whether it's musically or in her life or creativity, all of it, man.
How is it working being on the stage with Michael Jackson? Because if you're in this business.
It's nerve-wracking. Bruh, I'm gonna tell you, you know, so I'm in my seat and his manager comes over to me and he says, yo, you're gonna dance with Michael tonight. I'm like, I'm watching the show. What the heck do you mean I'm getting ready to dance with Michael? So he's like, no, come backstage. I'm like, first of all, I ain't got my Air Force Ones and I'm in boots. I can't dance in boots. So I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm going crazy. I'm backstage running around, I was asking like the people in the street, like, yo, I literally left, bro. And I ran outside down the street asking somebody for some shoes. Give me some Air Force Ones. It was like Wallabies and like some New Balances. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna get it. I need Air Force Ones. So I come back in. I ain't got my Air Force Ones. I have some boots. So anyway, I went out there. So y'all see me I'm stuck a little bit. That's really what happened. But no, it was nerve-wracking to actually dance for and with Michael. I can remember rehearsals, and I mean, I don't normally go all out in rehearsals, dude. I was going all out, singing at the top of my lungs, dancing harder than I've ever danced, sweating, flying all over the room. He was like, man, you really have a talent. That was one of the greatest compliments that I could ever get. Wow. He says to me, you not only sing, but you dance. I know how hard that is. You sing and you dance. That combination is vicious.
Is that the greatest compliment you received?
He didn't say vicious, but he said you dance and sing. I'm putting 2 on the 10.
Right.
He said that's a really special talent. And it really felt good to get that compliment from him.
Well, you know, ATL, we running the music game, right?
Absolutely.
We on top of the world.
Yo.
How does that, because you're part of that.
Yes.
I mean, you can't tell the story of Atlanta music without mentioning Usher Raymond.
No, man. Mm-mm.
How did that make you feel?
Man, we did something, man. The Ace, man, listen, the South got something to say is what Dre said, and we've been saying it for a long time, you know, and the potency of that, you know, I think it's great. I think more than anything, again, there's this transition and this focus just for me, and I think it should be a focus for more artists, you know what I'm saying, to really focus on the other things that these genres or Southern music and entertainment breeds. There's an entire movement and feeling like when you come to Atlanta.
Right.
Right? The world needs to know that. That's why I brought Atlanta to Las Vegas.
Wow.
You need to understand it. No different. Like you look at Cirque du Soleil and all of those shows, right? They celebrate their culture, whether it's in Spain or wherever it is. Our culture is the same. It might not be marketed the same. It might not feel, because it's culture, but all cultural things eventually become something that's commercial. And I wanted the world to be able to see and celebrate who we are, how we get out, what our music feels like, what our energy is, what our experience is, you know?
2-part question.
Yep.
Is R&B dead? And will R&B ever be what it once was? At the height. I'm talking about at the height. 90s, early 2000s, it was. Will it ever be that again?
So long as we quantify the success of it as a number one spot that has to be garnered in order to consider R&B the biggest thing, I don't know. That's in question for the world. Mm-hmm. Musically, I think that R&B is in everything. See, I ain't no fool. I understand where it all comes from. I understand the source.
Right.
Maybe y'all don't understand the source. Maybe you don't understand that it's gospel, blues, R&B, and everything flowed upward from there. So, no, it's gonna forever be a source. Will it be and have potency for the entire world to celebrate? I believe so, and I'm gonna continue to fight for it. I'm gonna continue to be that conduit for it. As I said, man, it's a kingdom that I'm after. I want the world to understand the value of what this music is, not just the service of it. Yeah, you put it on to make love. Yeah, you put it on to celebrate good times. Yeah, you put it on to emote and have emotions, but it also to serve so many other things that we got to celebrate as well, you know?
How do you balance being a father and being this? You have the residency here in Vegas. I don't know if you're going to go back to tour again because you got it pretty good right here. You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave. Hey,
after one-stop shop.
Yeah. Once you get done, you go up to your room. Well, you got a place now here in Vegas, in Henderson. You said.
Yeah.
And so now you don't have to worry about getting on planes, trains, automobiles, and going one state to the next city. How do you balance that? Because you said because your father wasn't around when you were younger, that's very important to you that you're around for your kids now.
Yeah.
But you also understand that the way daddy make a living is by doing this. So how do you balance that?
Well, the balance is, up until 7 o'clock. It's funny. I'm focused on my kids.
Right.
And then at 7 o'clock on the dot, I'm working.
Okay.
It's funny how that works.
Right.
But, man, it's a balance, man. It's a balance in any field that we are, right? Especially if you got to travel with a team. I like to travel, actually, so I don't think that I'm done touring.
Right.
I do see it in the future, but maybe in a different way. I just played Paris, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I had an 8-day residency or 8-night residency in Paris that was a major success. To be able to, find space to sit down and really enjoy, because that's the most important part.
Yes.
Like the greatest thing that we have is time. It's not money. It's the time that you spend.
Right.
And being able to spend that time with my children, spend that time and really enjoy the places that I go. I don't want to lose that.
Right. You're part owner of the Cavaliers, and LeBron comes back and wins a title.
Yeah.
What was that moment, because you were there, what was that moment like in Cleveland, and what was that moment like for you?
Well, it all started, right? Because I don't know if I had as much to do with Cleveland as much as it was a business opportunity for minority ownership in this team. And Dan Gilbert gave me that opportunity, just as LeBron was making his way in to the league. So we all, had heard and known about him and his talent. So I felt like the luckiest man in the world to be a part of this incredible organization, and what a story to be told and a legacy to be built. I was just happy, obviously, to have that be one of the first major entrepreneurial, kind of things that I had gone after, and it had the potential to be successful. Man, when he left, I think it was hard for everybody in the world, specifically in Cleveland.
Right. Because he's a native son.
Yeah. But sometimes, man, sometimes you got to leave. Sometimes you have to go away from home in order to be truly valued and appreciated, and maybe find yourself. I mean, sometimes in the wilderness, you'll find something valuable and you come back and you can really enjoy it. And what I've seen after that moment, after he left and came back and then won in Cleveland, obviously, it's just been a joyous moment for him since, right?
So you look at the opportunity, because you said this was in 2005, you become a minority owner, and you've done really good. You've invested, you've broadened your portfolio. Are there other opportunities? Are you looking like an NFL team, an MLB team, or you just kind of like stick to kind of what you know?
No, I mean, always open. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to continue to expand. I want to make certain that it's authentic,
right?
And also it makes sense. I want to grow. I want to work in different areas. I want to, engineer and pioneer new things.
Right.
There's no reason for music to be the only thing that you recognize me for. Business is something that is very important to me. Here in Las Vegas specifically, I've put my flag in the ground here. It started with a Vegas residency, has now grown to a very successful festival by the name of Lovers and Friends, and just received the key to the city. Now I'm trying to see how many doors I can unlock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna get in the restaurant business?
Hey, man, I mean, there's tons of opportunity out here. If there's partners, holla at your boy.
I'm gonna get you out of here on this one. I am bringing my daughter to tonight's show. So if you would, a song that's appropriate for someone her age. She is in her 30s. She don't want me to tell you exactly how old she is, but
she's not married?
She's not married.
Okay, cool. I'm customizing this moment. Go ahead.
Yeah. Usher, I appreciate your time, man. Congratulations on everything you've done. Continued
Absolutely,
success, bro. And I know you're gonna knock it out the park with us.
Hey, bro, I appreciate you too, dog. Thank you, man. Keep it real.
Usher.
Yes, sir. God bless you, dog.
All right, guys, as you can see, your boy dressed to impress. I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm getting ready to take my daughter for a birthday to the Usher concert. She's super excited because the very first concert she ever attended was Usher. So for her birthday, she's like, Daddy, I want to go see Usher. So here we are. Let's go. Thing we do for our kids, bro. Wonder what my son gonna want for his birthday. Knowing him, he gonna take the money. My other daughter, knowing her, she gonna take the money. Leave the one I'm with, darling. I can't do it. You got it, you got it. I got it bad. Hey, baby.
I'm nervous, you know.
You ain't gotta be nervous.
I'm shy.
You're whatever.
Kayla, C-sharp. The one that kicked it off. No. Don't put that on there.
She ain't playing. She tell me that all the time. Usher actually was your very first concert that you ever saw.
I was 12, and this was during the Confessions era, and Kanye West opened up for Tearing Up. This is so exciting.
So we're making a weekend of it.
We're making
so
a
we got
weekend of
Usher tonight. We got Adele tomorrow. And then Thursday we got Lakers game. They open up against the Suns. So
Ooh-wee.
yeah, woo-wee.
Kayla was on the scene.
Yeah, Kayla on the scene talking to daddy a ton of money. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm excited.
I'm
very
excited too, baby.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why.